distribution isn't just as simple as getting your movie on streaming platforms. Most filmmakers miss the mark, and by the time they realize it, their film is stuck in limbo. Money spent, investors frustrated, and momentum gone. In this video, I'm going to show you how film distribution actually works and why understanding the process is key to getting your movie seen by the right audience. But before we dive any deeper, make sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss what's next. All right, let's jump in. Let's start by looking at distribution like a pie. The entire market for your film is one big pie. First slice is your domestic market. That's North America specifically, which is US and Canada. It's your biggest market. It's where you'll most likely make the most of your money, and it's a place where your film will be seen the most. Now, on the other side of the pie, we have the rest of the world. Ideally, it's a 50-50 split between domestic and international markets, but in reality, North America often takes up a larger slice of that pie, especially for indie films that rely heavily on this region to kickstart their journey. Now, when it comes to international markets, that's where things get interesting. Typically, you'll be working with a sales agent, and the sales agent is like a talent agent, but they are representing your film to buyers. This is the person or company that handles the global distribution of your film, selling it territory by territory. But it's not just about selling to a country. It's about selling to a region, which is often based on language. So for example, when you sell to France, you're actually selling to French-speaking Europe and Africa. So you're not just focusing on one country, but rather a whole language group. The same goes for regions like Middle East and North Africa. Again, it's not about specific countries, it's about language and cultural reach. This approach opens your film up to a whole region, not just one territory. And that's how the global distribution game works. Not every film is right for every region, and the sales agent will be the one finding the best deals for your film. So let's dive into how this actually works. When you're dealing with domestic distribution, it doesn't happen all at once. It's a process, and it goes in phases. Traditionally, there are 3 windows of release. First up is TVOD, or Transactional Video on Demand. This is where your film gets rented, purchased, or is available in pay-per-view. This phase, it's your soft launch. Here's the deal. During TVOD, your movie gets priced strategically. You want to get your most dedicated fans to pay a premium to either rent or buy it because, let's face it, it's fresh, it's new, and people love getting in early. So you're aiming to capitalize on that excitement. And while this is happening, your distributors are hustling behind the scenes, pitching your film to the big SVOD platforms like Netflix, Hulu, etc. SVOD deals are increasingly becoming less lucrative, but the exposure is unmatched. You've got the right deal, you'll land a pay-one deal, meaning one of these platforms will pay for the first run exclusive rights to stream your movie for a specific amount of time. But let's keep it real, not every film gets this kind of deal. Some films might skip this phase and go straight to AVOD, which is ad-based video on demand. It's all about knowing what your film needs and working out which phase makes the most sense. The strategy here is everything. So let's talk about AVOD, or ad-based video on demand. Platforms like Tubi, YouTube, and Pluto TV are several of the main players here. These are the places where your film is available for free, but there's a catch. It comes with ads. Now here's the thing. AVOD isn't going to make you a ton of money right away. It's not the big payout you'd get from a pay-one deal or SVOD platforms. But don't dismiss it just yet, because here's the flip side. AVOD is a great way to keep your movie out there long after its initial release. And when a film hits on AVOD, it can be very lucrative over time. While you might not be rolling in the cash immediately, these platforms help you continue earning revenue over time. Ads generate steady income for your film, even after the initial hype has settled down. And generally speaking, AVOD is a crucial part of the distribution game and rapidly becoming a more and more significant part of the pie. Here's something a lot of people miss. Your international distributor should not release your film until it's out in North America first. And that's for one primary reason: piracy. There's a clause in the contract called the holdback, which basically means your film needs to be released in the US first, then internationally. It's a strategy to protect your film from getting pirated before it has the chance to reach its major markets and audience. But wait, there's more. Aside from your streaming platforms, there are also ancillary distribution channels to consider. We're talking about places like airlines, hotels, cruise ships, and even universities. These won't make you rich and are not even available for small films, but they do help expose your film to a wider audience. So it's not just about getting on Netflix or Hulu, it's about getting it everywhere you can and in the right order to maximize exposure and keep the revenue flowing. Every little bit helps when you're building your film's reach. Now, DVDs are still around too. They're not the powerhouse that they once were, but some regions like the US, UK, Germany, and Japan still see DVD sales as a legitimate source of income. So while they're not as relevant as they used to be, it's still something to factor in when you're planning for international distribution. And it's all about partnering with a sales agent who knows all the markets and will take advantage of every opportunity. Now, you might be wondering, what about the Theatrical releases. The truth is most indie films are not suited to a theatrical release. Most theatrical releases are loss leaders. Theatrical releases come with huge costs. Print and advertising, P&A, can be a significant chunk of that budget, and you need to recover that P&A before you can even think about making back the cost of the film itself. Sure, some films will score that big theatrical release, but let's be honest, not every movie is made for that level of budget. So if you're considering the theatrical route, make sure it fits into a broader strategy and that it makes sense for your film. It's all about being realistic and planning for the right approach. There is, however, a common trend that is great for the filmmaker who dreams of a theatrical release. Many North American distributors will release independent films day and date, meaning the film will release on a small number of screens in key cities concurrently with the TVOD release. The strategy is not necessarily to sell tickets, rather to increase digital premiums because your film is listed as in theaters now on the streaming platforms. So let's talk about self-distribution for a minute. Can it work? Yes, but it comes with limitations. If you don't have big celebrity endorsements or major mainstream support, reaching a wide audience is going to be a challenge. Traditional distributors, they've got the infrastructure, the relationships, and the power to place your film front and center or exclusively on platforms like Amazon and Netflix. They know how to make your film stand out, and that's what you're up against when you're selecting self-distributing. Self-distribution works if you're dealing with a micro-budget project that isn't especially marketable and you just want to get your film out there, but don't expect to reach the masses unless you've got significant marketing push behind you. It can be a solid alternative for some films, but it's not a catch-all solution. Now, I mentioned sales agents earlier, so let's talk about sales agents versus distributors. A sales agent is essentially the middleman. They represent your film and pitch it to distributors across various territories. Their job is to license your film to as many distributors as they can. They're the ones working the connections and getting your film in front of the right people who will acquire it and release it. Think of them as the negotiators. Distributors, on the other hand, are the ones who buy your movie and are responsible for getting it out there to the audience. They handle the marketing, the release, and make sure the film is licensed and shown where it needs to be. Now, some sales agents are also distributors, meaning they handle both the selling and exhibition, but most of the time, sales agents are just handling the licensing and taking a commission for their efforts, while the distributors take the reins and make sure your film gets in front of as many eyes as possible. It's a partnership. You need both for your film to get the exposure that it deserves. Now, if you want a strategy to show you how to navigate this like a career producer, we created a workshop, Understanding Film Distribution. In it, we share the strategy of how to approach your film's distribution from day one, setting it up for long-term success so it can get the views that it deserves. It's not just theory, it's practical and actionable. It's designed to help you make smarter, more informed decisions long before your film ever hits the market, ensuring you avoid common pitfalls and maximize your film's potential. In this workshop, we bust the biggest distribution myths and reveal the current state of the market, the deals that are on the table, and what you need to know to get a good deal for your film, and more. Planning for distribution for the beginning is key. So to get access to that workshop, click the link below. And so a lot of people ask, can you just skip the sales agent and go directly to Netflix or another big streamer? The answer is probably not. These platforms usually work with established distributors or companies that have a solid track record. They want partners who can consistently supply them with content, not just a one-off. Sales agents have those key relationships with these buyers and platforms. They know how to navigate the process, how to pitch your film, and how to get it in front of the right people. Without those connections, trying to bypass the agent and go directly to the platform is a long shot. So unless you're already well established or have a direct relationship, it's best to stick with the sales agents who know the ropes. You can't just walk into the room and expect to sell your film. The distribution market is built on relationships, and that doesn't happen overnight. It takes years. And most distributors don't want to deal with producers on a one-off basis. That's why finding the right sales agent is key. The right deal can make your film a success, but the wrong deal, that can destroy it. So you want to be strategic about who you partner with and how you position your film. It's a balancing act, and the more you know, the better you can navigate it. Film distribution isn't a one-size-fits-all approach. From TVOD to SVOD to AVOD, each phase has a specific role in making sure your film gets seen by the right audience. You have to be strategic about each step, and to succeed, you need to truly understand the process. The more you know about distribution and how to navigate it like a pro, the better you'll be at ensuring your film gets the best deal and earns the revenue it deserves. It's all about making the right choices at the right time, and the better strategy you have, the better off your film will be. So if this video helped helped you understand film distribution a bit better, TVOD, SVOD, AVOD, and the role of distributors and sales agents, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a future breakdown, and ring that bell to stay updated when new content drops. At this channel, we dive deep into the behind the scenes of filmmaking, the strategies, decisions, and creative challenges that often don't get the spotlight. Also, got something you're still wondering about? Drop a comment below. We read every one and it directly influences our future videos. Also, check out some of our past videos for more filmmaking tips and strategies you won't find anywhere else. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.